See, of course, I don't, I mean, I'm now practicing outside of India, but I do come to India very often, and I think India is a great jurisdiction. First, I should say that. And here you've got several stakeholders. It's a huge country. There's so much of backlog. That's because of the sheer number of litigations that are going on in the country. But if you ask me about arbitrations, you should also talk about arbitration-related litigation. So it's a lot of docket explosion that's happening in the country. I think in terms of arbitration, the main thing is to get a bigger pool of arbitrators. I think that's the first thing we need to do, because there aren't that many full-time arbitrators here in the country. So for which I think a lot of training needs to take place. The way it happens in most countries is people are trained to be arbitrators. You cannot just go and say, hey, I'm going to be an arbitrator. You need to be trained to be one. For example, in Singapore, you need to do some exams. For example, you'll have to either pass the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators award writing exam or the Singapore Institute of Arbitrators award writing exam to get a fellowship of either of those institutes. And only if you're a fellow, you'll be admitted to the panel, or you'll be considered to be on the panel of, for example, the Singapore International Arbitration Center. So that's what happens in Singapore. In India, I think Chartered Institute of Arbitrators has started an India branch. So I guess once the training programs goes in full swing and there are more people trained as full-time arbitrators, I guess the pool of arbitrators will increase, and that I think should be the first step to improve the speed. So you need to have people who can do arbitrations on a full-time basis. Though they may have a litigation practice or whatever, they must be willing to do a kind of a full-fledged hearing throughout the week. So I think everybody has to contribute to this process, and I think it will definitely happen. It's only a question of time, because it is a long process, but I think it's definitely going to be changed in India, I guess.